If you ever felt like you can't focus anymore, like offline feels boring, like you're scrolling till 2 a.m. wondering what the hell happens to my time, this isn't just in your brain. It's called brain rot. I watched DOAC podcast with Jonathan Haidt and Dr. Aditi Nerurkar, and I am genuinely scared. Not the kind of scare where you click away, the kind where you realize you need to act like right now. And according to research they shared, it's destroying human potential on a global scale. But here is what shocked me the most. It's completely reversible if you act now. So Jonathan wrote The Anxious Generation about why people born after 95 are so much more anxious and depressed. But there was this moment that stopped me cold. He admitted he vastly underestimated the damage because he focused on mental health. The bigger catastrophe, the destruction of the human ability to pay attention. Without the ability to focus for 10 to 20 minutes at a time, you won't be useful as an employee, as a spouse, or successful in life. This is changing human cognition possibly on a global scale. What I learned is that through neuroplasticity, your brain literally being as a muscle, engaging with high volume, low quality videos, you are increasing stress, worsening mental health, attention, cognition, distractibility, irritability, and complex problem solving. Here's the science that made me delete TikTok. Yeah, at least for some time. I don't know. It's already back, but I'll try it. There was a 2025 meta-analysis of 71 studies finding heavy short-form video use associated with reduced thinking ability, especially shorter attention spans and weaker impulse control. Surprisingly, then they walked through this Munich study that absolutely floored me. Participants took a test, had a 10-minute break using TikTok, Twitter, or YouTube, then retook the test. The TikTok group's memory accuracy dropped from 80 to 49. It's 30% decline just from a 10-minute break. Twitter and YouTube showed no significant change. Think about it. 10 minutes on TikTok cut memory performance nearly in half. But here is where hope came in. Brain rot is reversible in adults. It's not a fixed trait, it's a brain state. It takes 8 weeks for your brain to rewire itself when building new circuits. Then they walked through 2 critical studies that gave me this hope. One found that just 2 weeks of continuing to use your device but not having mobile internet access improved attention, well-being, and mental health. 91% of people improved in at least one metric. Another study showed 1 week without social media decreased anxiety, depression, and insomnia. Again, surprise, but there was also explained this concept called popcorn brain from David Levi, describing when you spend too much time online and become overstimulated, so offline feels slow and boring. Your primal urge to scroll primes your brain to develop this. What I found fascinating is the difference between popcorn brain and brain rot. Popcorn brain is ubiquitous. It could be found everywhere. We all have it. Brain rot is more specific. Biological factors like brainwave changes, amygdala lightening up, prefrontal cortex going quiet, psychological factors like attention and impulse control problems, and social factors like loneliness and compulsion. Here is what's actually happening in your brain. When you scroll, your amygdala, that means your survival and self-preservation center, upregulates, and your prefrontal cortex, impulse control, memory planning, organization, strategic thinking, or complex problem solving downregulates. You are literally becoming your worst self neurologically. There was this concept introduced that explained our life right now. We are living through polycrisis. That simply means something is happening everywhere at all times. With our devices plugging us into real-time information everywhere, our brains are getting fed danger constantly, and our amygdala hasn't evolved to distinguish between danger close by and far away. Then there was introduced this graph from Jonathan that was really scary. My life feels meaningless. From millennials, about 8 to 9% agreed. It was fairly flat. Then around 2013, during what's called the Great Rewiring of 2010 to 2015, it went way up. Young people feel useless, and there was this brutal point made. They are useless in the sense that when all you do is to consume content 5 hours a day on social media, 8 to 10 hours on a device total, you are not doing anything for anyone. If you disappear, would the world change? That's how you know if you are useful. It's pretty brutal from the Jonathan, I would say, but who knows? What really resonated with me was this observation from speaking engagements. When audiences are asked about their mental state, the word that comes up over and over is horizonless. Adults feel like they have nothing to look forward to. The human brain needs something to look forward. And here is the neuroscience connection between it. The default mode network, the part of your brain that creates meaning and the purpose through self-referential thinking, only develops when you are bored. But we never allow ourselves to get bored anymore. The data shown that from 1960s to 2014, time spent alone versus time with friends was stable. 2014 marks a shift. Steep rise in time spent alone, drop in time spent with friends. What happened in 2014? The majority of Americans got smartphones. Yeah. This is where it gets truly dystopian. There is this research that literally gave me chills. With AI chatbots, we now have the echo chamber of one. You are speaking to you, it's like a funhouse mirror giving you a response. Then you respond and it responds. But people think it's wise, compassionate, non-judgmental, unbiased, empathetic. Human attributes it doesn't actually have. Then there is the drift phenomenon. You engage with your chatbot, and through this amplification funhouse mirror effect, it slowly shifts your belief to something altogether different. You start with plumbing problem and end up discussing the meaning of life, and before you know it, you have theories and validations for beliefs you didn't have before. What really hit me was this distinction. Social media hacked our attention. AI is now hacking our attachments, which will have even more devastating effects. It's forming bonds with the bounding hormone oxytocin that replace human connection. The warning was clear. AI is going to intervene early in childhood. The AI teddy bear is always there, more responsive than parents who have jobs and other kids. So primary attachment models will be for AI, not humans. But then there was something that gave me hope. There was this story about traveling to London, Brussels, and Davos, and everywhere. And everywhere people wanted to ban social media for kids. What was happening aligned with Steven Pinker's concept when everyone knows that everyone knows. December 10th, 2025, that was the global turning point. Australia's social media age limit law went into effect. The sky didn't fall. Companies complied. They shut down 5 million accounts for Australia 2.5 million underage kids. And when everybody saw that everybody was looking at Australia saying, let's do that here, then everybody knew that everybody knew. This is bonkers. Raising children on a social media platform with anonymous strangers and algorithmically curated garbage. The prediction is that 2026 is the year when at least 15 countries will commit to passing age minimum laws. Indonesia's goes into effect in March. Macron got France passed. The whole EU is like to follow. That's perfect. Love it. So what does a meaningful life actually look like? This explanation completely reframed how I think about happiness. Happiness doesn't come from getting what you want. That's short-lived. It doesn't just come from within. Happiness comes from between, the relationships between yourself and the others, love, friends, family, between yourselves and your work, being productive, affecting others, and between yourselves and something larger than yourself, being a part of something that endures, a tradition, a mission. And social media and AI interfere with all three. Then I learned this prescription that I am honestly going to try. Live a lifetime in a day. Every day do 5 things to create an arc of long, meaningful life in one day. Spend time in childhood. Wonder and play, joy for joy's sake. Spend time in work. productivity, agency, overcoming difficult things. Spend time in solitude, essential for the default mode network. Spend time in community, engaging with others, and spend time in retirement or reflection, really taking stock of your day. At the end of the day, when your head hits pillow, you can say, yes, I lived meaningful life. The neuroscience behind this is fascinating. There are two types of happiness. Hedonic happiness, social media consumption, pleasure, leads to the hedonic treadmill where no matter what you do, you need more. And eudaimonic happiness, meaning purpose, connection, community, growth, oriented activities, doesn't have a treadmill. When you live a lifetime in a day, you move toward eudaimonia. Here is how to actually do it. There is a 3-step protocol you can actually follow. First, fix your morning and evening routines. What are the first 7 things you do after opening your eyes? Your phone shouldn't be in the first view, or your day will be controlled by it. Second, shut off almost all of notifications. Most people get alerts for everything, for every mail. If you are always being alerted, you miss everything else. That's basically me. I am alerted of everything. But I am still sitting in this feeling that I have to be alerted. Otherwise, I am missing out. But maybe I am missing just on my life. I don't know. I try. Third, get all slot machine apps off your phone. Whatever you habitually use, whatever you feel compulsion towards, delete it from your phone. There is also this quick practice. Stop, breathe, be. A 3-second brain reset before checking your device. Ground yourself in the present moment. This decreases future, focused thinking and anxiety. And here is the most important thing I learned. The rule of 2. Your brain can only handle 2 new changes at a time. Pick 2 things from everything we've talked about. Commit for 8 weeks, the neuroplasticity timeline, then add 2 more. This is why the New Year's resolution fail. We try everything at once. And this is bullshit. My 2 starting today. I'll start every time I have urge to scroll with stop, breathe and be practice. And also I will be leaving my phone here in the living room. I'm not taking it with me to the bedroom. So I'll try with this for 8 weeks and then we will see. There are 2 books mentioned that I am checking out. The Amazing Generation for the ages 8 to 13. As a father myself, I'm actually looking forward to this. It should be about rejecting corporate control and living a life of real freedom, friendship and fun. And the 5 resets for anyone struggling with stress, overwhelm and burnout. Everything is free and science-backed. This is the fight of our generation. Our attention, our attachments, our meaning. They are all under attack, but we actually can control our fate. December 10th prove it. The world is rising up. Now it's our turn. Pick your 2 things. Start today and I'll see you in 8 weeks. Peace.